Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let us start with the first type of visual, which is pie chart. So pie chart is primarily used in cases where we compare similar variables, like say for example the past, how many like how many males have passed and how many females have passed. So it's kind of out of 100 when we compare the percentage of different categories, different similar categories. Those kind of visuals generally are compared. Generally, those kind of visual instances we use pie chart. Like say for example, there are different segments. Say there is like there is a department, there is a eastern department, there is a western department, there is a central department. So based on like there's a central region. So based on which region, which region, how much sales have taken place. So based on single category, that is the sales is my primary objective, and different regions I'm comparing how those regions have performed based on that, based on sales. So these kind of visuals generally we use pie chart. But for while using pie chart, there is one thing, those that can also be done using bar chart, but pie chart looks more visually appealing, provided that the number of categories are very small. So say for example, how many students passed in how many male students passed and how many female students passed. So that comparison we can do easily in pie chart. That will look visually good also. But now if I try to calculate uh, what is the percentage of each and every individual student in comparison to like use pie chart for that kind of a visual. So the number of students are like say 169 students I'll get. So basically we'll divide that circle into 169 segments to figure out what is the percentage of each student. So that will make that visual very clumsy. Is it clear? Any confusions? Anyone who could not understand what I tried to say?
Sir, could you please repeat it once again?
Okay. So basically, say for example, section situations where like how much students passed, how much male students passed and how much female students passed, or say for example, I have situations like specialization based bifurcation, like there were like how much students are there in PGDM, how much students are there in MBA, or say how much students are there in uh, finance, how much students are there in business analytics, how much students are there in marketing. If I make this kind of bifurcation, those kind of scenarios we generally go for pie chart, provided if the number of categories are very small. These like the specializations like HR, finance, and these specializations are the categories. Or if I talk about the gender, then how many male students have passed and how many female students have passed. Males and females are basically the categories. So over there, when I talk about how much male students have passed and how much female students have passed, that is basically I have two categories, male and female. When I talk about the like how much students are there in which specialization, then again we are talking about the specializations are the category which are approximately four or five. So number of specializations or number of categories are very small. So those kind of situations we can use pie chart. But if the categories are very big, say I have 20 categories or 50, 30 categories, then going for pie chart is not a very good idea. We should go for bar chart in that case. Okay, because
Okay, sir.
because the visual will be so like each and every category will be so small that then you will not be able to interpret anything out of it. It's like one single line, each and every line is speaking something. So you can basically, how do we interpret by pie chart? Basically we interpret by pie chart by figuring out how much, which one is bigger and which is smaller. So for that we need to figure out that how much we at least need to make it out from the visual. Say this category, the segment of this category is higher. So that for that we need to I mean for that that is only possible when the categories are very small. If the categories are very big, like there are lots and lots of categories, then each and every part of the segment will be very small, and eventually will not be able to interpret anything. Okay, so if the number of categories are very small, then only we use pie chart. Else we can use bar chart or other visuals accordingly. So this is one thing about pie chart. Secondly, if I talk about about pie chart, it is always recommended to use the data label. You need to always mention the data label, because else there can be say for example I have can you see did everyone download the data set?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a data set related to gender, pass and fail. This one. Over here, you can see that out of, if I talk about pass and fail, in the male segment, there is 40 and 30, right? Male 40 males passed and 30 females passed, right? But in case this was 40 and this was 41, in the pie chart, you will not be able to figure out which one is higher and which one is lesser. So data label mentioning is always important when you are dealing with pie chart. Because when I talk about bar chart is possible. It is possible that a small for a small data variance it can reflect, but pie charts generally don't reflect that kind of a difference. We cannot make it out visually by just looking at it. So it is always recommended to have a data chart. So now we'll start with the visualization, how to make it. So first what I will do, I'll just click on insert, go to pie chart, select the type of pie chart I want to use. Now I'll go to select data. I'll again click on add. Now series name I'll use a pass, and now for value I'll select just a minute, and now in the horizontal sector axis I'll select male and female. Is this much clear? Anyone who
Yes,
couldn't
sir.
follow? Okay. So now we'll go to layout.
Sir, actually, I got disconnected, sir. Sir, can you please show me once again?
Okay. So first we need to do is uh, first we need to select. I am creating the visual for finding out the pie chart of how many students have passed, how many male and female students have passed. Okay. So first we'll go to insert tab. We'll select pie. Select the kind of visual you want to go for. Now I'll go for select data. Add. Over here I'll name something. So say okay. So now I'll select the value. So okay, so I select these two because those are the pass. Those are the numbers that say how many students passed. Now I'll go to horizontal axis. Click on edit. Over here I'll select male and female and click on OK. Okay. Now talking about this one is giving me uh, just in case if you didn't see it. This is the layout that I selected because this gave me the exact percentage of female and percentage of male. Okay, so this way I can directly analyze how many students have passed and how many students have failed. I mean, how many students have passed and which gender is predominant in this category. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can also try to make it more visually appealing by clicking on these kind of 3D visuals. Okay, by that it can you can make it look more good. So now talking about this one was the uh, like how many students passed, what was the gender ratio of students passing. If you want to select for fail, you can directly also do it, just like for that we need to do, what we need to do is basically we need to click on the category and click on control and click on the values. Now we can directly go to insert pie chart. So now I got the percentage of students failing. Again I'll go to this one. So this is my percentage of students who have failed. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now now I'll just do another visual which will clearly signify why too much like too much categories are not important. I mean, create like if there are too many categories, what kind of problem happens, and if the values are very close to each other, what kind of value happens, what kind of problem we face. So for that, I'll just uh, create another one. Say, okay. So now I'm just based on category, I'm selecting this segment, and I'm just showing why having too much category is a very bad idea to have a pie chart. So you'll be able to figure it out yourself. Okay. So now can you see that there are most of the visuals are so close to each other that you cannot exactly make out. Now I have 15, so the visuals are comparatively bigger. If I have somewhere around the categories 20 or 30 or 50 say, then we will not be able to figure out how what which one is greater and which one is smaller. Okay, previously you see over here, just looking at the visual, I can say that male is greater than the female. But over here, you cannot say that which one is greater and which one is smaller. The maximum one you can still figure out, but the other ones you cannot. Can you tell me which is the smallest visual? I mean, which value has the smallest? Just which category out of here has the smallest value? Is it possible to figure out?
No, sir.
This is the reason why we should not have, when the category is like when the category is more than say 4 or 5, we should not go for this kind of visualization. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So now we'll move on to the next category of visualization. Anyone have any question related to pie chart before we move on to the next visualization?
No, sir.
Okay. So now uh, scatter plot is basically used to figure out when we are calculating, this is more used for statistical purposes. When we try to figure out how two parameters are related to each other. Okay, if you see the data set, you will find that one data set is there where temperature is to, just give me a minute. Yeah, there is a temperature is to ice cream sales data set that is given. So in this kind of data, what are we trying to figure out is basically whether there is any relationship between these two data. Okay, whether these two parameters, that is temperature and sales of ice cream, does they have any kind of relationship between each other or not. So calculating this kind of visual, I mean scenarios, where we are trying to figure out whether how the dependent variable is dependent on the like on the independent variable, how the what is the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. We use, like, for the correlation purposes, we use scatter plot. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we'll start with how to create a scatter plot. So okay, I'll just go to insert. You can select this one as also, but we generally select this one. Now I'll go to select data. We'll click on add. uh, the x variable is the independent variable, so temperature. Y variable is sorry yeah, y variable is the uh, dependent variable, so I am taking ice cream sales. Now temperature versus ice cream. So now, this is my scatter plot. Okay. Okay. So now there is another way to figure out if they are, how closely they are related to each other. For that, we need to draw the trend line. Okay, so for trend line, what we need to do is we need to go to layout. There is an option of trend line. It may vary from if you are using a different MS, like different format of MS Excel. I mean different version of MS Excel. So what we will do is we'll go to more trend or trend line options, select linear. Okay, and uh, yeah, display equation on chart. We'll click need to check this one and click on OK. So this is the equation of the how this is basically the equation of this line, that is the equation of linear regression, and this is my trend line. So you can see that that all the values are very close to the trend line. Can you figure this out? Is it clear to everyone that if the all the data is very close to us, close to the trend line?
Yes, sir.
So this, what does this signify? Can anyone tell me? If all the data are related, are very closely linked, closely bound, and if there is a line passing between them, what does that generally signify? They generally mean in terms of scatter plot, or in terms of, like, when we do the correlation, uh, when we do the correlation of two parameters, what that basically signify?
So it means that there is an existing strong relationship between the two variables, more than
Exactly.
dependence.
Exactly. So this strong, there is a strong relationship between these two parameters. This we can signify from here, and that uh, this visualization, using this visualization, we can like make these kind of analysis. So primarily, scatter plot is mostly used for analyzing correlation between two variables. So when we are doing those kind of statistical analysis, primarily we go for scatter plot. Okay. Is it clear to everyone why we, in which kind of scenarios we use scatter plot? Anyone who couldn't follow? because all these kind of questions will be there in the assignment that will be submit, like that I'll be sharing shortly. So just in case if you don't understand, let me know so that I can clarify it to you.
স্যার স্ক্যাটার প্লটটা আরেকবার বলুন কেন কখন করছে?
Okay. Yes, Rahul, do you have a question?
স্যার স্ক্যাটার প্লটটা কখন করছে আরেকবার বলুন।
Scatter plot is basically done primarily when we are dealing with analyzing two variables, how the relationship between two variables. We do those kind of analysis in statistics, right? When we are analyzing how one dependent variable is like what is the relationship between dependent and independent variables. We do those kind of analysis in regressions or in
Yes, sir.
kind of finding out correlations, right? So in those kind of scenarios, we generally use scatter plot. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next we'll move on to bubble chart. Okay. So bubble chart is primarily used when we are analyzing three variables. How the three variables related. I mean, there is like over here. If you see in the scatter plot scenario, there are two variables, right? One dependent and one independent variable, right? If we add a value to all these points, then it will become a bubble chart. Okay, I'll just explain with an example shortly. So if you just look at the data set of there is a region based data set. Okay. Is this data clear? Like can you see this data?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay. So now if we want to figure out like which sale is happening, what is the sale happen? I mean, if we need to plot the sales and the SL percentage in comparison in terms of revenue, then there are three parameters which we are considering in a single visual, right? So those kind of visuals are generally used using scatter plot. Sorry, using bubble chart. Okay, bubble chart, heat map, these kind of visuals generally work when we are trying to figure out there is a x and y, and also there is a there is a value which is added. So there are three variables. When we are dealing with three variables, we generally go for bubble chart. Okay, I'll just show you how to create bubble chart. But prior to that, is it clear? So is this much part clear that why we are using
Yes, sir.
when do we use bubble chart? When there are three
Yes,
parameters
yes.
we are working on, then like say for example, we are trying to figure out which segment is having highest number of sales, and in terms of which in terms of revenue, then we will go for bubble chart, because using scatter plot or using other kind of visuals, we are considering generally two parameters. There are three. When we are dealing with three parameters, we go for bubble chart, but the third parameter is talking about the magnitude of those points. Okay, so it's like x, y, and h. It's something like that. So now I'll show you how to create a bubble chart. Sorry, how to create a bubble chart. In bubble chart, you will get it in other chart section, but some cases you also get it below scatter plot. So it depends between your version of Excel. So I'll click it over here. Now I'll again go for the data. I'll add data from here. So
বাবেল চার্ট বলে কোনো অপশনই পাচ্ছি না, অল চার্টস এর মতো নেই।
all chart
অল
এ নেই?
চার্টস না,
না
কারেন্ট
দাঁড়া,
চার্ট আছে, লাইন
তোর
চার্ট
তোর
আছে,
ইয়েটা
পাই
কোনটা,
বার
কোন
13
ভার্সন?
আছে, 13 আছে।
13 তো আদার চার্টসে দেখ এরকম এই এই ভিজুয়ালটা পাচ্ছিস কোথাও?
না ওটা
বা
তো
স্ক্যাটার
মানে
চার্টের একদম নিচে, স্ক্যাটারের ড্রপ ডাউনের একদম নিচের দিকে?
না ওখানে নেই। যদি অল চার্টসে যাচ্ছি সেখানেও কলাম চার্ট পাচ্ছি, লাইন, পাই, বার, এরিয়া, এক্স ওয়াই স্ক্যাটার, স্টক, সারফেস, র্যাডার, কম্বো।
এখানে বাবল নেই তো?
না
No, sir. Even I am not finding it.
Can you just share your screen?
Sir, I could not share it because
Anyone?
Zoom
স্যার
is
এক
not
এক মিনিট
installed.
ওয়েট করে আমি দিচ্ছি।
Rahul, can you share your screen?
হ্যাঁ স্যার এক মিনিট ওয়েট করে আমি দিচ্ছি। স্যার ইজ ইট ভিজিবল?
Yes. Yes. Just close this option. Go to that drop down in the scatter section. Scatter plotটা দেখতে পাচ্ছিস? বলছি পাই চার্টের পাশেরটা ড্রপ ডাউনে ক্লিক কর, লাস্ট অপশন। Okay, the other person who was not being able to find it out, can you follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, so let me share the screen once again. Okay. So now we'll again go to select data. Then we'll add in the X. I'll be selecting SL percentage. In Y, I'll be selecting the sales, and in bubble size, that is the magnitude, we'll be selecting revenue, and name I'm mentioning region. Okay. Anyways, so now if I want to like use color to define that which one is greater and which one is smaller, what we need to do, we just go to format chart area. Just a minute. Yeah. For format data sets. Vary colors by point. Could you figure it out that the color variation happened in terms of which one is greater and which one is smaller? Hello. Can you see the variation of color happening in term like due to
Yes, sir.
Yes,
the
sir. We can.
volume? Yeah. So this is basically how we visualize bubble charts, and the significance of bubble chart is basically to plot three variables when we are analyzing the relationship between three variables. So we generally use bubble chart. Uh, okay. So in terms of like time series measurements, also bubble charts are at times used, like when we are signifying that like in which year which country is having which how much population. Those kind of scenarios are also some scenarios where we use bubble chart. Okay. Do anyone have any question
Okay,
related to
sir.
bubble chart?
স্যার পপুলেশনের কোশ্চেনটা একবার বলুন।
ধর তোর there is a list of population of the countries, okay, and we are analyzing that which is the we are analyzing population of a country in terms of like population of different country in terms of years. বুঝতে পেরেছিস? How in the range of years from 2000 to 2020 how the population of different countries have changed. So if you are trying to
ওকে
figure
স্যার।
out these kind of visualizations, we generally use bubble chart for those kind of visualizations. So time series kind of visualizations also at times use like bubble chart. Okay,
ইয়েস স্যার।
is it clear? Okay. So now, anyone have any more question related to bubble chart? Is there anyone who have any question? Else we will move on to the next chart.
No, sir. No question.
Okay. So just a minute. So now we'll move on to something called donut chart. Anyone know what is a donut chart? Anyone have any idea what is the donut chart? Okay. So donut chart is also called as progress chart. When we try to figure out that how much percentage of of a substance is covered. Okay. So in situations like say for example number of days in a month is say for example there are 30 days in a month and 28 days have been passed. So what how much percentage is left? Say for example you are doing a course in Coursera. So now you have completed three modules out of four modules. How much percentage is left? So these kind of situations we generally tend to use donut chart. So donut chart looks like it is basically it tends to show the progress of something. So it is like similar to pie chart, just the difference is pie chart is is a solid circular chart, whereas donut chart has a hollow in between. It's like it looks similar to a donut, the donut food that we have. So it looks similar to that, and based on the shape of the chart, it is basically called donut chart. Okay, or progress chart is all. It is also called progress chart. So is it clear why do we use or which kind of scenarios we use donut chart?
Sir, please repeat once.
Okay. So in situations where we try to figure out a percentage progress of a substance, say for example, uh, there are 31 days in a month and today is 25th. So how much percentage of like how much of the day how much of the month is already covered and how much of it is left? Or say for example number of classes you have attended, two number of classes left. So how much what is your percentage of classes covered? So these kind of situations generally we use donut chart. So basically it is also, since the name is all the actual name is progress chart, we generally tend to figure out that what is the progress, overall progress or overall percentage out of 100%, how much of it is done or how much of it is left. So those kind of scenarios we use donut chart, and it looks similar to a pie chart. The difference is in a pie chart what happens, firstly there are two categories that we use in a donut chart, not more than that. Generally we use two categories. And secondly, the pie chart is a solid chart, it is a solid circular shape, whereas in donut chart it is like the shape is like similar to donut, that is there is a hollow in between. So it is like a like it is similar to say it's a concentric circles, the center is blank, and it is like similar to that the mass we used to cover, right? That there was a park there in the, I mean, in the school days. So we used to do some kind of circular mensuration problems, that there is a circle, there is a circular park, there is a like path covering that circular path. So find the area of that path. So that area of the path is basically a donut chart. It's something similar to that. When we'll visualize it, it will be more clear that how it looks like. But primarily it is similar to the shape of a donut, that there is a hollow in the center, and there is a circle, it is a circular stuff. Okay, so now we'll just go for this one, that say there are 30 days in a week, 25 days are passed and 5 days are left. So now how will we visualize? We'll basically go to insert, uh, then we'll go to pi. Okay, we'll go to other plots, other charts. There is donut. These are the two categories of donut chart. I'll be selecting this one. Now I'll go to select data. Hello, ক্লাসের মধ্যে আছে। Okay, so this is can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you can see that there are this is the number of days, this is the number of days passed, and this is the number of days left. So now what we'll do, we'll just go to the visual, we'll go to design, the same process, we'll select data, click on add. Now the series value will be this one, past and the one left. I'll just use this part and click on OK. Now I'll go to edit. The axis will be past and left. Okay, so this is basically a donut chart. Okay, you can also use the 3D versions over here. Now we can also select the percentage covered, and also related to the color, we can also change the color. Okay, so say you want to change this left part, what you need to do is you need to go to the format and okay. Go to okay. So this signifies that it is 83% of the month has been passed and 17% is left. Okay. Is this much clear? How do we do? What is the usage of donut chart and how does donut chart look like and what is basically like? Why do we use it? Any
Yes, sir.
questions related to donut chart?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any queries related to donut chart or didn't understand the process or something? Is there any queries related to donut chart?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So now we'll go to the last visual of the day. That is uh, stock chart. Okay. So prior to that, is there anyone who has who has an idea about stocks and shares? Is there anyone in the class who has idea about stock chart? I mean stocks. That is the financial stock. I mean the share prices and all those things. That is what I'm talking about.
A little bit.
Okay. So you can relate properly. I think you all did have a class with Shogoto Ghosh sir priorly, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
your
Yes,
first
sir.
year.
Yes, sir.
So do you
Yes, sir.
remember that there was a visual he used to use that there were some rectangular slots and there was a graph related to that.
Yes, sir.
I think he has showed that graph to you all also, that how the share prices fall and they go up, right? So stock chart is basically the chart that signifies that only. Okay, so if you look at the first data set that was there at the top, the open, high, low, and close values that I mentioned. So these are basically, this is a random value. It may not be matching. This is a date. This is the opening price of a share, high price of the share, lowest price of the share, and closest price of the day. So these are random values. This may not match. It is just used for showing how the graph is. So if the data is found inconsistent, you need to like pardon me for that because I am not an expert of this thing. I just randomly selected some values for this. So now what we need to do is we need to go to insert. We'll go to other charts. The first option is stock chart. So these are the kind of visuals for the stock chart. We'll be selecting this one. Okay. So I'm just selecting this entire data set. Now I'll go to stock chart. So this is the stock chart. Okay. So this is the data. I mean the date. This is the data of the particular slot, and you can see that there is white and black, right?
Sir, from where you get this stock chart? Can you show me
Uh,
once again?
in the other chart section, the first option in the other chart section. For my case, like in my version of Excel, it is in the insert tab, other charts, the first option. It is the second option of the first segment. That is stock, the second option of the stock. So this is the chart.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you can see there is black and white options. Like the values are black and white, right? The white signifies that the closing stock is higher than the previous day, and the black signifies that it is lower than the previous day. Okay, this is based on the closing value. Okay, so now we can also change it. if I click on single, if we click on any one of the whites, you can see that all the, just a minute. Okay, if I select in any one of the white, you can see that all the other white rectangles are selected. So for if I change in, make a change in single one, the data for all the whites will get changed. So what I will do, I'll just change the color. So for that, I need to just right click. Okay, go to the fill value, fill color option. I'll select, say I'll select green, and for black, since there is only one black, I'll select red. Okay, now if I want to give some kind of 3D effect, I can also give that. So for that, what I need to do is, uh, I need to go to format. In the shape effects, we can see bevel. Okay, and click on bevel. Okay, so it will give a 3D effect. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So is the part relate? I can also delete this part. So is the stock chart clear to everyone? Is there anyone who have any question related to this? Okay, so I think we are good for throughout all the graphs that we have covered so far in today's lecture. Is there anyone who has any confusion related to any of these charts that we discussed so far? Stock chart, donut chart, bubble chart, scatter plot, and pie chart. Anyone have any confusion related to this?
No,
Any of
sir.
the charts? Anyone who couldn't follow any of the charts? Okay. So do you want this Excel to be sent to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll share this. And there is an assignment that I'm sharing also. So this is not, this is more like a classwork rather than an assignment. What you need to do is, there are some similar visuals. Okay. All you need to do is, there are not similar visuals. These are the data sets are there. So you need to do, the questions are mentioned over there. You just need to do the visuals. So these five categories of visuals are only the ones that you will be using. So in some cases, I have straightforward mentioned which is the chart that you need to use. Some cases I haven't mentioned it. You need to figure out whether you want to go for pie chart or bar graph or something. And based on that, not bar chart, but pie chart and scatter plot, and only the charts that we discussed today. So based on that, you need to select based on the data set and the question you need to select, and you need to provide the interpretation as well. Okay. So I think everyone is clear how interpretations are done, right?
Yes, sir.
Just in case if someone doesn't like, no, I am like telling it that, say for example, if you look at this one, that gender versus gender, there is the passing, this is the visual for related to how, which percentage of which gender passed and which, how much, I mean which of the ones failed. So based on that, like which of the, like which percentage of gender passed and which percentage of gender, like what is the gender based percentage of passing. So based on that, we what we can infer is basically that there is the among the population of people who have passed, male is predominant whereas female is less. Okay, but we cannot say that males are more brighter in comparison to females, because we don't know the total number. If we would have known the total number, then based on that we could have said that whether the females are more intelligent, or the males have done more better in that exam. So based on these kind of analysis we can do. So this is basically the interpretation, that out of the data set, there is a predominance in the males passing in the exam rather than the females. Okay, so this is called the interpretation. So when in every question you need to interpret, so you need not only visualize, you have to also provide an interpretation of that visualization. So based on that visualization, what can we infer? So that okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have shared the Excel in the WhatsApp group. You can just go through it. And meanwhile, I am just uploading the assignment. Uh, I have uploaded the assignment. It is in the lab session 4. Okay, I guess you all got the notifications. Have you received it? Can anyone confirm whether they have received it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.